Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Allen Fieldhouse, the longtime home of the Kansas Jayhawks. Today, the 1,000th home game for the Jayhawks in this building, which was dedicated back in 1955. Got it! And what a start for Darren Peterson and the Jayhawks. That's his third steal. What a pass. White from the corner for three. Tiller feeling it, hitting it. DeBonsa gets to the rim, first time tonight. He's got 5 points now in this game. Here's Saunders. Another one. His 6th three of the game, and now a career high.
This is a huge stop for BYU if they can get it.
Shot clock running down, off balance. Oh, Council! McDowell down with it, ahead to White. The exclamation point on a victory here this afternoon for the Kansas Jayhawks.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. Landon Winkler is over there in the corner. He's running the video feed and the cameras. Not a whole lot of camera work for Landon today, but a fun show for you. Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities, supporting student, community, and employee needs. Had your sound of the weekend. That's right, folks. It is yet another Monday. Continues to come around, and in the words of Steve Webster, it's better than the alternative. Your sounds of the past 24 hours. Actually, this happened Saturday, I suppose it was, but the Kansas Jayhawks in the 1,000th game played by that team in Allen Fieldhouse, historic Allen Fieldhouse, the cradle of basketball, whatever you want to call it. Kansas welcomes in the 13th ranked BYU Cougars and escapes with a 90-82 victory. Kansas, I watched most of this game. Kansas was ahead by quite a bit for quite a while. Second half, BYU mounts a comeback. They really get into it. Richie Saunders with 33 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double for him. Held A.J. DeBonsta off the glass, but he still got his 17 points. Robert Wright also scored 18 points for the BYU Cougars. But Kansas came out with a 90-82 win. It might be time to start talking about Darren Peterson. He plays exactly half this game, 20 minutes. In those 20 minutes, he scores 18 points. But he took himself out right at the beginning of the second half and did not re-enter. He continues to deal with those leg cramps, and at some point, obviously, your mind goes to how much of it is leg cramps, how much of it is him prepping himself for the next level. Certainly something that you can't blame the young man for, but something that Kansas fans, KU fans want. They want to see him on the floor, and every time he is on the floor, he's absolutely spectacular. Like I said, 18 points in 20 minutes in this game. But Kansas winds up not needing him towards the end. Kansas shot, I believe, 8 of 10 from three-point range in the first half to build this first massive lead. They finish 11 of 22, so it certainly slows down on the offensive end. But still, either way, a really, really impressive showing for the Kansas Jayhawks as they beat BYU. Didn't get any sounds for this, but I still want to talk about this game because they're the other big team in the state. K-State hosting Iowa State. Iowa State, the number 8 team in the country, at least they were heading into this game. I believe a new AP poll has just been released. But either way, Kansas State gets thrashed, unfortunately, by Iowa State, 95-61. It was 50-21 at halftime, and Iowa State kind of pulled back in the second half, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys scoring double figures for the Cyclones. Leading scorer is Joshua Jefferson. He finishes with 19 points. Milan Momcilovic finishes with 18. He's a guy that I think is going to be a massive problem for college basketball as things continue. Milan Momcilovic, he is a junior. Is that what this says? Yeah, he's a junior, so he's been a problem. but a really good player. Killian Torre finishes with 13. Taman Lipsy with 16. Nate Heisey, I think is how you pronounce that, with 11 off the bench in 20 minutes. K-State's issues remain the same. They cannot guard without fouling, and they get out-rebounded pretty frequently. In this Iowa State team, they shot 20 free throws in this game, made 15 of them. Meanwhile, K-State only goes to the foul line 6 times. They get out-rebounded 38-21. And it's more of the same for Kansas State. They commit 19 fouls in this game. Of course, P.J. Haggerty continues to get his 23 points, 9 rebounds for him. David Castillo with 11 points. K-State is still getting decent contributions from the top of its roster. You're going to get 20-ish points a night from P.J. Haggerty, but it's a matter of how many shots does he have to put up to get those 20 points. And can anybody else do anything? Andre Kostic finishes with 8. You're fine with that. Only 2 rebounds, though, for Kostic. You need more from him. Dorian Buka only finishes with 6 points, 2 rebounds. You definitely need more than that. Kansas next game is going to be at Texas Tech. That's tonight. That's tonight? Yeah, okay, that's tonight. That's tonight at 8. Quick turnaround for the Kansas Jayhawks as they go on the road to Texas Tech. And Kansas State, their next game, they are off in the midweek. They will play TCU in Fort Worth, actually. I was about to say Lubbock. That's where Texas Tech is. They'll play TCU in Fort Worth, Dallas area, on Saturday at 1. Let's look at the AP Top 25. Mostly unchanged. Iowa State goes from 8 to 7 after their win. Kansas moves up a little bit after their win over BYU. They are now 11th. They are just outside the top 10. Texas Tech actually moves down, even though no, they did lose. They lost to UCF. They dropped 2 spots. They actually really just about swapped places with Kansas. And so Texas Tech will be the lower-ranked team as they host Kansas on Sunday. But still a whole lot of time left in the Big 12. BYU falls 3 spots to 16 after their loss. And I'm trying to see if there's any other Big 12 stuff in here. Get away. I don't want the pop-up ads. And no, that looks like it's just about everything. So K-State and Kansas continue their basketball season. Kansas certainly looks like a team that could challenge for the Big 12 title. K-State is still grasping at straws trying to find something. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Also by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. Also in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the very best in the country. That's going to do it for our first segment. After our first break, good show for you today. We've got Derek Schneider, the head coach of the Sterling Black Bears. Their basketball program is on a roll. They remain undefeated coming off of that state title in football, looking to defend their state title from last year in the sport of basketball. Top 5 team, regardless of classification, in the state of Kansas, and they are just on a roll right now. So we'll talk to Coach Schneider on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day, live from the Mayo Money Management Studio here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the Rec. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Looking for a meaningful career where you can make a real difference? Barton Community College's adult healthcare program can get you there fast. Become a certified nurse aide or medication aide with Barton's state-approved training. Whether you're just beginning your education journey or advancing your career, Barton offers flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and hands-on training, giving you the knowledge, skills, and critical thinking necessary to thrive in today's world. Learn more at adulthealthcare.bartoncccc.edu.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry now with you, joined by, over the phone, the head coach of the Sterling Black Bears, Coach Derek Snyder. Coach, first of all, how are you on this Monday? And thanks for taking the time.
Doing great. Weather's a little bit warmer now, and snow's melting, so looks like some of the games won't be postponed like they have the past couple weeks, so I'm feeling good.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about some of those games. For anybody who doesn't know, let's take them through your season so far. You're 15-0, I believe, and at this point, and really, you haven't had much competition that can stick with you. Talk a little bit about your season so far.
Yeah, we knew we'd have a good squad coming back from last year's team, so we don't change a whole lot. So we were able to hit the ground running right out of football. We only got that one day before we got to play Cheney of practice because we were in the state football championship. But started off with Cheney, played well right out of the gates, and then went down to the Kingman tournament, played well down there. We're able to play a good game against Great Bend and hold them off at the end and get that win. And then just keep moving forward, got into our league schedule. So far have done well, but we kind of get into a little bit more of the meat of it this week with Classical and Berean. Played well at our midseason tournament. We're able to beat Hugoton in the championship there. A nice team at Hugoton with Coach Korf does a good job with those guys. And so, yeah, we're just trying to keep it rolling.
So I know that a lot of these guys played football as well, and like you said, you won the state title in football and then rolled immediately into basketball. Did you say you had one day of basketball practice before you rolled into that Cheney game?
Yep, we had our first team meeting on Monday. We had all of our roster and number checkout, gear checkout all throughout the school day on Monday, and had that practice Monday after school, and then went right to Cheney on Tuesday.
So you roll out of bed, you get a 20-point win over Cheney, 27-point win over Cheney, pardon me. And just so tell us a little bit about this team. The name that everyone is familiar with around here is Zane Farney. Everyone knows how good he is, but talk a little bit about the team as a whole and some of the seniors that you have.
Yeah, I would say Boston Eckert's, he's our leading scorer, and he's probably our guy that night in and night out other teams are trying to stop. He's about 6'6" now, just a good scorer, really nice defender, good athlete. So he's the one that kind of makes us go as far as other teams looking at our scouting report. And then we've got a bunch of guys after that. So Blake Smith, he's our second leading scorer, good outside shooter, attacking the basket well, really good finishing moves around the basket. Wyatt Newberry, our other senior that starts with the guys that you've already mentioned, a really nice player, underrated, honestly, doesn't get the credit that he probably should be getting because we do have other guys that score a little bit more, but when called upon, he can take over a game as well, just like any of our guys. And then our underclassman that starts is Jacob Lewis, having a really nice year, just kind of our glue guy and also our trash guy that just does everything, does all the dirty work for us. Good rebounder, good scorer around the rim. He's the guy that people look at and they probably just kind of gloss over him because of our other guys, but he can really hurt teams just because he can do everything well. And then Cameron Morris, he comes off the bench for us. He's our post presence, really, really good post defender, and kind of underrated also with his post skill set. Really good scorer with both hands around the rim, really nice touch. So it's a great group.
And Coach, let's take you back to the beginning of the season. Like you said, I got Cheney in that first game after one practice that you held. Towards the end of that, or towards the middle of that December month, you make the trip up here to Great Bend. People remember this game. It was billed as a heavyweight fight, and it lived up to the match. It lived up to the billing. And you guys come out with a 12-point win over a Great Bend team that still had Ian Premer on it. And so take me back to that game. What was the mindset going in, and what was the expectation?
Yeah, and I also forgot to mention, as you said, Zane Farney. He's our point guard, just a great leader, big, strong guy that you just can't turn him over very well. So, going into that game, Zane played a pivotal role because when you go against an athletic team like Great Bend and you can have a guy that handles the ball and doesn't turn it over, that obviously is a huge key right at the beginning of the game. So that was a big factor. And then, Coach Cry over there, he's got his guys primed and playing well all the time. So we knew it was going to be a good battle, and we have a lot of friendships with guys over on the Great Bend team with our guys here with some summer league teams and stuff that they play on together. So there's even a little bit more of a kind of rivalry, I guess you would say, with those guys. And, we handled the ball well. We didn't turn it over, and we shot well and played good defense. Kept them off the glass as much as we could, which, that's a thing that Great Bend relies on, particularly when they had Ian playing, is a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of putbacks. And we were able to limit those and put a little pressure on them on the perimeter and, keep them from getting a lot of easy baskets in transition. We kind of neutralized their zone defense that allows them to get out and run a little bit, which helped a lot. We were able to pull away with a nice win.
And, Coach, that is the closest game that you've had so far this year. I think the only one decided by less than 20 points, taking a quick glance at your schedule. If someone were to come and watch a Sterling Black Bear game, what kind of basketball should they expect to see?
Well, we like to get up and pressure on defense, and we play a lot of help side. So one thing we talk a lot about is trusting your teammates and help side. So we're at our best when we are pressuring the ball and trusting our help side, because then we force a lot of skip passes and we force a lot of bad passes that are off target is what we're hoping for, which allows us to get the other team to kind of get rattled a little bit, sped up in the half court. We don't do a lot of full court stuff, but we force a lot of bad shots, hopefully, get a lot of rebounds, and then once we get the rebound, we like to run fast and get down the floor and hit open shooters or just finish with a lot of space. We like to space the court in transition. We've done a better job even more recently of when that transition basket isn't there, then we can pull it out and be patient on offense. But we just got a lot of guys that are fundamentally sound, can handle the ball. So anybody that gets a rebound, we push the tempo. So all five guys can push, which helps a lot when you're wanting to score in transition. Then we're hoping to get a lot of easy baskets in transition to offset our half-court offense. But generally, if you're going to watch us, it's going to be hopefully a good fundamental help side defense with ball pressure and then a lot of fast-paced transition basketball.
So, Coach, I asked this of teams that are having great seasons or had high expectations coming in from the outside looking in. You guys are a top 5 team, regardless of classification, in the state of Kansas this year. Is that something that you guys pay attention to? Are you talking state championship from the first practice, or are you taking it one game at a time?
We try to balance that. Obviously, at the beginning of the season, we knew what the expectation was because we did win it last year, and we had our pieces back. So, You talk about that as your expectation is one of your goals overall in the big picture is, of course, we talk about that every year of a state championship. But then once we get down into it, as a coach, it's my job to keep us focused on each individual game, to build our practice plans so that we can work on our weaknesses and build on our strengths. And we talk a lot about execution, so we talk a lot on a day-to-day basis about small details. Execution is the biggest thing that we're talking about. So what do we do? What do we need to improve on? What are little things that are going to get us to the big picture that we want to be at? But, we once we're into the season, we don't shy away from talking about expectations at all, but we also don't put a lot of emphasis on it. We put most of our emphasis on the small details, executing our stuff at a high level. We don't watch a lot of film with the other guys. We just talk about at practice when we're game planning, we talk through personnel and we practice individual things that the other team's doing and what their personnel likes to do, and then we fit it to our defense and try to stop it.
Talk about this group of guys a little bit more. When you look at your collection of ball players between football and basketball and maybe baseball as well, I'm not positive, but how many state titles has this group won at this point?
Yeah, it's a good question. For sure, the last year's state basketball and this year's state football, those are two big ones in our classification. And, they're involved in a lot of – these guys actually are very well-rounded guys. So they're involved in a lot of fine art stuff. They're involved in baseball, as you said, some track stuff, tennis and golf. So I don't know if I can comment on state championships per se, but as far as just execution at a high level across a lot of different sports and a lot of different activities, these guys excel in a lot of different things.
And so, Coach, you've got the start of league play coming up. You've got Sedgwick on the road on Thursday. What are you expecting to see in that game?
Sedgwick Thursday. We play Classical tomorrow, which will be a big game because they've only got one loss right now against Mound Ridge, so that'll be huge. We play them at home. That'll be a good matchup. We're trying to get into their depth a little bit. And then we'll play Sedgwick on the road. I'll be honest with you, I usually don't watch film a lot more than one game ahead, so I haven't really picked up on their films a lot. I've seen some of their scores, and they seem to be around 500 this year, so another good league matchup. And as we know, our league is very good top to bottom, so we can't take any team lightly. And then bounce right back to Berean Academy on Friday, which is another one-loss team in our league. So a really nice week for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coach, this is something that I've spoken about with a couple of coaches in this area, and I want to get your thoughts on it as well. Specifically on the girls' side, but also on the boys' side, there is some really great basketball being played by the smaller schools especially. And, I think of what Larned is doing on their girls' side. I think of this Hoisington team, which you guys handled, I hate to say easily because I don't think any win comes easily, but still the final score was pretty lopsided. But what do you think has led to this kind of explosion in basketball in these smaller schools?
I just always feel like, particularly the schools in our area, I can't comment across the state, but I think the schools in our area do a good job of working fundamentals, and so they have kids that come up into high school ball that are good fundamental players, dribbling, passing, shooting. And then, I feel like we strike a good balance in this area of our summer league stuff to where we can get really good game experience, but also fundamentals. And from the coaches I talk to around here, we put a good emphasis on fundamentals. And then on team basketball, there's a lot of good individual players in this area, but there's also a lot of really good coaches that preach a lot of good team basketball. And so I think we do have a good recipe for successful teams because we have good coaches that coach the right way and coach team basketball, and then we have a lot of good players that have been developed through whatever it might be, youth programs or in the high school program, that are good fundamental basketball players. So I think we're in a good spot right now.
Hey, Coach, thank you so much for the time, and good luck the rest of the week.
Thanks, Brand. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. That is Coach Derek Snyder of the Sterling Black Bears joining us here on Sports Day. A lot of fun talking to Coach Snyder. I love what he said at the end there of, Yeah, we've got great coaches coaching up players the right way in this area, and the kids are buying in, and occasionally you have some of these all-world talents that come through, and it mixes to be where there's a lot of really good coaching all in the one spot, and now all of these teams are really good because they've continued to build up their programs. And on the men's side, especially with the small schools, Sterling is obviously the headliner, but there's a lot of great basketball in this area, and what Sterling has been able to do the last 2 years is super impressive. And the good news is that it doesn't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon. They are spectacular and have won a lot of games this year. And they're a 2A school that came up and or maybe even a 1A school. I can't really remember, but I'm sure someone is screaming the answer at me right now, and I apologize. But a small school going to Great Bend, a 5A school that has Division I recruits in Ian Premer and not Daxton Minton, but Cooper Omont, and they got that win against a fully healthy Great Bend team at the time. And any team that can do that is worthy of a lot of praise and admiration. And certainly the favorites to win that state title once again are Sterling, and get 3 titles in the last 2 years in men's in boys athletics, at least that we know about. And like Coach Snyder said, can't really speak for the other sports, but these guys are all around as far as what all they're getting into, and have done a fantastic job. Sports Day is presented in part by Kern Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend Showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also brought to you in part by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. All right, we got to hit our next break. On the other side of it, we'll talk with friend of the show, Coach Lyles Lashley. You may notice it's a Monday. There's no Garrett Fitzpatrick in today. Can't do Water Cooler Monday, at least as we do typically. And so I enlisted the help of Coach Lashley, who has been on this show a ton and is always great to talk to. He and I had about a 15-minute conversation about the world of sports at large and our thoughts on certain things, and always fun to talk to him, and a nice, fun story at the end of it. You'll get to hear that on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Oh, also, want to remind people of this before we get to our last break. If you want to, you can watch this show as well as listen to it. GreatBendPost.com. Go to the sports page. There is a tab over there that says Tuesday on Sports Day, or Monday on Sports Day today. In parentheses, you hit watch, and it will take you right to today's show. You can watch it as well as listen to it from anywhere in the world on GreatBendPost.com. All right, we got to hit our break. This is Sports Day.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Senior Doors, this is Hadley.
Hadley, what are we going to do today?
You have to work at Senior Doors. What if there's another power outage?
You're right, Hadley. People rely on us to be able to get into their houses and businesses. That is why we sell electric operators with battery backups and have been serving the community longer than anyone.
Does that mean you're getting old, Papa?
Not old, experienced.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmy's, make it happen.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry now joined over the phone by Lyles Lashley, the world-famous Cajun chef. Coach, talk to us. How are things over in your neck of the woods?
Good. Just same old. Just trying to keep healthy. It seems like everybody around Barton County is sick right now. So just trying to stay healthy and teach away and plot through the cold months. Ready for some spring.
Yeah, I saw, I've spoken on it on this station a couple of times. That deadgum rodent up in Pennsylvania is saying we're going to have more weeks of winter, which it was a light winter until this past month or so, but still I'm ready to move on from it.
I still think everything's shifted back about a month and a half now. And I think now we're in the middle of winter, and now that we start track in March, we'll still have snow and be freezing cold, and I think that just teases us sometimes. But yeah, I think they need to fire that rodent and put Maurice the Nutra-Rat in there. I think he does a lot better job than Punxsutawney Phil.
I heard you talking about this with Steve Webster on the AM Great Bend show this morning. What kind of animal are you talking about?
The good old Nutra-Rat, man. It's a big old rat. You got to Google it. That thing is not your normal rat. I think it's bigger than Punxsutawney Phil's too. They grow in the swamps down there, but they run around New Orleans a lot. They even have a open season day in New Orleans where you can go around shooting them in town. So it's the old thing. Some people even make Nutra jambalaya out of it too. It's a Louisiana delicacy.
I'm Googling this thing. They look like gophers or
they do.
beavers.
You see how big they are?
Yeah,
they're huge.
It's almost the size of like a full-grown otter.
It is. And those things are huge. I can really eat everything down there. Got all sorts of beautiful things to eat in the swamp down there.
Up to 2.5 feet long, weigh over 20 pounds. Wow. All right.
It's better than my fat cat.
Yeah, my cat's a little chubby too. She ain't up to 20 pounds. Let's talk a little bit of sports. I know that last time we were on, we talked about the NFC and AFC championship games. How did those go in your mind? Because I can't remember what exactly you said. I know that I picked the Texans to beat the Patriots, which was way off.
Well, I did the same thing. I had the Texans making the Super Bowl, and then that didn't quite seem to go out and see. But give the Patriots credit. I was just reading an article on them, and they had $120 million in cap space last year, and the first thing they went and did is solidify that offensive and defensive line. I mean, that offensive line. I think it's like 13 of the 22 starters this year were new. You throw that around a rookie quarterback that's good, not a rookie quarterback, a rookie contract quarterback. You're able to spend that kind of money in free agency when you don't have somebody that's on contract for $50 million a year. I think that helps a ton. And then you throw Vrabel in there. I mean, that was just a perfect fit. The Texans, they need to just get rid of that organization, maybe move it back to Houston or do something. Who knows? But that's the Texans. I mean the Titans. Same thing. But just the fact that they've done all that, and the funny thing I read too, I was watching this. Guess Mike Vrabel, as an NFL player, had 5 catches because he's a linebacker.
Right.
But he had 5 catches for 5 touchdowns, including one in the Super Bowl. Pretty good ratio there, catches to touchdowns.
For a linebacker especially, yeah, that's pretty nuts. It's always interesting to see a guy who played for his team go back and be the coach, because now, I mean, that's what we had in that AFC Championship game.
Oh yeah, yep, he did, and just it definitely, I think that was a wild game there. And I think the Denver fans are blaming Sean Payton for not kicking that field goal early. But if they get it and get a touchdown, he's a genius. That's
exactly.
That's one of those old things that
darned if you do, darned if you don't.
Yep. With that snow. I don't think helped either team, but I probably favored the Patriots with that offensive line, those two running backs. I think it definitely helped them out too. So definitely low scoring game with it.
And then on the other side with the Seahawks and the Rams, kind of it felt like a different sport watching that game.
Yeah, it did. It honestly did. It was definitely one of those. That was a game I didn't get. I was actually stuck on airplanes that day, and didn't get to watch a whole lot of that thing. But I watched the highlights, and it definitely was a game.
We've talked about Sam Darnold, you and I, before, right before the championship games were played, and just the fact that he got left for dead. I mean, I used that language the last time that we talked about him, but I mean to go from being left for dead to leading his team to a Super Bowl appearance, what he's done over the past 2 years to revive that career is just it's incredible, and I can't get over it.
Well, I mean, 2 years ago he was the backup for the 49ers, and it looked like his career was going downhill. And then the Vikings gave him a chance, and then with J.J. McCarthy, he got hurt, and then it was like the Red Sea parted for him to get that chance. And then here you had a chance with when you have the receivers the Vikings had, and just the coaches, and it was and put into a real system. And what did he throw, like 35 touchdowns last year and like 8 picks? And
something like that, yeah.
Made the those, the Pro Bowl team, and then it was like, we got him a big contract in Seattle. Seattle, how about them getting rid of, Geno Smith? And then let's say, hey, let's bring in Darnold, taking that chance. And, obviously with their coach and their system and their receivers too, it's definitely paid off for him and for Seattle.
I really love Geno. I thought that he did really well in Seattle, and I was happy for him. But I think, is it time for Geno to call it a career? I mean, maybe not the career that he should have had, but I don't know, man. That Raiders team this past year was so brutal to watch whenever I did deign to watch them.
Think about the people they had on that team, too, though. I mean, just that and the system. Pete Carroll didn't have any business coming back.
Right.
I mean, he was a good coach, but he just come back for a couple more seasons. And I felt bad for Geno. I think him in a good system, he's decent. And you take him out of that system, and the poor guy was in the Jets. I don't think the Jets graveyard of quarterbacks they've had. I mean, you could just go, what was the little guy that was drafted 2 or 3 years ago? His mom was hot. What was his name?
I'm trying to because I remember what you're talking about.
Pick.
Was it Rosen? Was it Josh Rosen?
No, it was later than that. It was Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson. Yes, kid out of BYU.
I wouldn't be surprised if he surfaces. I know he's a backup somewhere, and then I wouldn't be surprised if a year or two he goes somewhere and he turns out good. I mean, just because the poor guy. If I'm a quarterback, please don't draft me from the Jets.
Oh gosh. And the other thing about the Raiders is, I think Ashton Genty's good, but that's your first-round draft pick, and he's a running back playing behind an offensive line that's terrible.
Horrible. I mean, absolutely horrible. I mean, his first contact was probably in the backfield 80% of the time this year. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Absolutely.
He's a little fella. He took some beatings, too.
Yeah, he's bigger than most, but as far as NFL guys go, he is relatively small. So, hopefully that gets better. They're supposedly hiring Kubiak after the Super Bowl. So,
I saw that today. I was reading him and Darnold's last game together this year. So, hopefully they make it a championship.
Should be a fun game.
Who are you rooting for?
It's interesting because I didn't hate the Patriots until they beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl, and then I got kind of annoyed by them because they wronged me personally.
You a Falcons fan?
Oh, absolutely. We've talked about this before.
I know, the Dirty Birds. I forgot
Dirty
about
Birds,
that.
baby. Yeah. But I never hated the Patriots until that point. And, this is not the Belichick and Brady Patriots. This is a different group of guys, but it's still that logo. It's still that logo on the side of the helmet, and You know, and I think it would be cool to see the Seahawks win one, just because the Sam Darnold story is so cool, and Drake May is such a young guy, and Mike Vrabel's going to have him back here, you think, right? But
you think so, but I mean the AFC is sometimes so tough. I got the Will Campbell, the left tackle, the rookie, the 4th overall pick. His parents are really good friends of mine in high school. He's from my high school, so I kind of got a little lean toward the Patriots because of that. But I'd also really like to see Sam Darnold win it. Honestly, I just want to see a really good game, which hopefully will be. I'm guessing with those defenses, it probably will be. But as long as I don't have to watch the halftime show, it'll be fine.
You're not a Bad Bunny fan?
No, I'm really not sure who Bad Bunny is. So
hey, he's one of the biggest artists in the world right now. He's not really for me, but I understand where they're coming from with it. Did you pay attention to college basketball over the weekend at all?
Just a little. I watched the KU game. I saw that K-State just got romped yesterday.
What's going on with that? They were supposed to be good this year. PJ Haggerty's. They have, I think, the 5th highest scorer in all of NCAA basketball, and they just can't get wins. They can't get stops.
30 at home. Yeah, it was Iowa State, but good gosh, it's just like they've gone downhill the last few years. I mean, and then all of a sudden they'll play somebody really close. I mean, somebody they're not supposed to beat really close and almost beat them. Then they'll get beat by 30 the next game. It's just they've been so up and down. How long do they give Jerome Tang?
Yeah, I think he's on the hot seat personally. I don't know about that. I'll speak tomorrow with Wyatt Thompson, and I asked him about this last week, and he said, it's certainly something that's going around right now, but I don't know. I don't know if you can justify holding on to him at this point.
Yeah, unless he has some incredible payout,
Which I think he does. I think he does. Is going to be the issue.
Yeah, I just don't think he put a big, huge payoff, and it's not like football into basketball. I mean, look at LSU and their payouts they got with their football coaches. And Kansas, you can probably do that as much as like Louisiana loves their football. They don't definitely have a huge payout for a basketball coach.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was told a couple of weeks ago, and I've completely forgotten until right now. Jim Mizunas told me to ask you. You're from where I'm from. It's football country. I know that you were playing football for a little while, but now you're a big track and field and cross country guy. How did you get into the off the gridiron sports?
Oh, I knew he was coming here. So when I played football my freshman year, and we were playing Ruston High School. And Ruston High School, by the time my senior year, was the number 2 ranked school in the USA Today poll. Well, they had a running back called Raymond Malcolm. He actually went to Auburn, but he blew his knee out at Auburn the first week of practice. And back then they didn't have those surgeries that we do now.
Right.
And he never recovered like he did. He should have. But Raymond came in. I was starting right cornerback. Came in there, come in the backfield, about to tackle him. That dude ran smack over me. Never broke stride. Never broke stride. I just laid there, and I looked up, and the cross-country team was like on the Turk track, because it was just a freshman game. They were running the workout. I said, man, that sure looks a lot better than getting run over by this dude all the time. So I finished that season up, decided cross-country and track was for me, and Raymond Malcolm is the reason why I'm a track coach these days.
How about that?
Because he ran me over so bad. He actually got killed in a car crash about 10 years ago. But,
really?
Yeah, one of the greatest running back in Louisiana history. Actually started ahead of Marshall Faulk in the Louisiana All-Star football game that year. And then, like I said, he went to Auburn, blew his knee out. He ended up going to Northwestern State, Louisiana. He had a couple 1,000-yard seasons, but like I said, he never was the same.
That's, and that sucks just to see talent like that. Get held back. And also, Coach, talent like yours to get held back. I mean, come on now.
No.
When you get run over, you're supposed to get back up.
I wasn't getting back out and tackling him. He was like 6'2", 210 there in the 9th grade. And I was a $140 and 5'8", and that was my calling to start running.
Well, I'd say it's worked out pretty well for you, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely got to be the coaching, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Depends on what day of the week it is.
Fair enough.
That, so.
How's the food truck doing? We'll get you out of here on this. How's the food truck thing going?
Good. We're kind of a slow fall. I mean, a slow winter. It's too cold. We get out there when those pipes freeze up pretty easily. You don't get running water, so the food inspectors have frowned upon that one. So we've been we kind of laying low a little bit, and then we start back up the 28th of February, and then we'll get kicking for a little bit. We're usually about 2 times a month at the brewery this year. We got a bunch going on with a couple of us. With Cody has his daughter playing softball and some other stuff too. So we're trying not to overload it too much so we can spend time with the family, but and also try not to get it to where you don't want to burn yourself out. We're the people out of Cajun food, so keep them coming back hungry and keep them coming back wanting more from that Cajun food. We're excited for crawfish season though. Up into these little freezing temperatures they got down there the last couple of weeks. Supposed to be a tremendous year, but all that does is push it back a couple of weeks, and it even makes the season a little bit better. They come out of the ground a little bit more mature and stay healthier, and they're easier to transport to Kansas that way. A lot of times when they're young like that, they don't survive 12 hours, 14-hour rides, and then staying in, you throw those crawfish in those little nets and bags, we'll call it. They get cold and they go into a dormant state, and they wake up, and sometimes they don't survive if they're real young and adolescents.
I gotcha. And when does track practice start up?
We start the 1st of May. I think it's basically 4 weeks from today.
All righty. Well, Coach,
it's flying by.
Yeah, it is. I noticed today is I've been here not quite a year. But around the time that you start up track practice, it will be my 1-year anniversary of being here. Is May 15th, I think, is when I made the drive. May 15th of 2025.
Nice. I remember making that drive myself, thinking, why is my car leaning right? I thought I had a flat tire when I first came up here, and it was the wind.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't realize the wind could push your car that much. So I moved up. I drove here.
Yeah. Well, Coach, thanks for the time. It's always a pleasure.
Appreciate you, boss. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. That is Lyles Lashley, the world-famous Cajun chef, joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to Coach Lashley. Just a great dude. Great guy, easy to talk to, and always has something fun to say. I had heard the name that he mentioned there of Raymond Malcolm. It was a name that I was familiar with. Obviously, like he said, he went to Auburn, blew out his knee, and then had to transfer back because he just never was quite the same. But to hear that story is pretty funny, honestly, all things considered. So big thanks to Coach Lashley for joining me on the program here today. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Equity Bank. There when you need them, bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and Larned. Also brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange signs south of 10th and Harrison. We got to take our last break of the show. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGBN, 95.5 FM.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Looking for a meaningful career where you can make a real difference? Barton Community College's adult healthcare program can get you there fast. Become a certified nurse aide or medication aide with Barton's state-approved training. Whether you're just beginning your education journey or advancing your career, Barton offers flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and hands-on training, giving you the knowledge, skills, and critical thinking necessary to thrive in today's world. Learn more at adulthealthcare.bartonccc.edu.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Senior Doors, this is Hadley.
Hadley, what are we going to do today?
You have to work at Senior Doors. What if there's another power outage?
You're right, Hadley. People rely on us to be able to get into their houses and businesses. That is why we sell electric operators with battery backups and have been serving the community longer than anyone.
Does that mean you're getting old, Papa?
Not old, experienced.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Welcome back into Sports Day, final segment of today's show. Hope everybody is having a good Monday out there. I'm having a better Monday than I did the end of last week. Certainly not perfect. You may have heard in a couple of the interviews and especially in these in-between segments here. Still a little stuffy, still a little bit of the crud going around, and certainly I'm not the only one dealing with it. Somebody who has been dealing with it is head coach Jade Winter of Great Bend girls basketball. She has been sick for the past week or so. She is back on the regular rotation. She is back in school, actually coached Great Bend on Friday night. And glad that she's feeling better. She'll be on the show tomorrow. Still don't know who she's bringing with her, but she'll have some players coming along that will lead off the show for us. And after that, we'll talk to Wyatt Thompson. He is the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats. That'll be a really, really fun conversation as always. And, you know, even though K-State is not having a fantastic year, still always love talking to Wyatt just to get his thoughts on the world at large. I'm sure we'll spend a couple of minutes on the Super Bowl and on all of that stuff as well. Sports Day is brought to you in part by The Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. Also by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. So what else happened on Saturday in the world of college basketball? As we've got a little more than a minute left in the show here. I want to tell everybody where I was on Saturday. I was on the call for Barton basketball as they hosted Coffeyville. Coffeyville team that got wins over both the men and women the first time through. And ending the month of January, both sides with wins. The women were down 17-6 at the end of the first quarter. They go into halftime tied at 23. They really turned it around at the end of the first quarter. They win the second quarter 17-3, 17-6. I can't remember what I said. Same score that they lost the first quarter by, and they wind up winning the game 60-53. This is the best win, I think, of the year for Barton women's basketball. Coffeyville is a team just outside the top 25. They were receiving votes. They, in fact, still are, and even with this loss. So, massive win for the Barton women. The men who lost to Coffeyville the first time around, I believe 84-77 was the final down in Coffeyville. Barton comes out and they win this game by 23 points, 89-66 the final. So hopefully both the men and women starting to get hot here as we approach March. It's the beginning of February. Next game for the Cougars is at Hutchinson. That will be on Wednesday. I'll be on the call of that one. Thanks to Derek Schneider, the head coach of the Sterling boys basketball team. Big thanks to friend of the show, Lyles Lashley. Thanks to Landon Winkler, who's over in the corner running the video feed and the cameras. Thanks to you for watching and listening. I'm Brant Daughtry. Thank you for having me. We'll do it all again tomorrow, same time, same place, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. We're live at 12:30 right here.